All right. So the pranayama is, I call it three-chamber breathing. It's a combination of in pranayama words, Durga and Viloma. But the idea is that you have three main areas of your breathing apparatus. And so what we'll do is we'll start right now, just for this opening, I want you to pick a really comfortable position. So you can lay like we normally do, flat, or you can lay like we normally do on that prop so that your ribs are just a little more open, right? You have one prop under your ribs and one prop under your head. Honestly, you could totally sit, but just try to keep your spine upright. And you can even stand, and I might stand just so you can see more clearly that way, the areas of the body that I'm talking about. But you should be able to just kind of lay back and just with the verbal cues alone, do the pranayama. So the first thing is we are going to use our hands to just bring awareness to the areas that need the breath. And you'll just lay one hand, and the inhale is always an expansion, and the exhale is always a contraction. So I said put a hand on your chest, and then inhale to your chest. You should feel the chest rise and expand. And then when you would say exhale the chest would kind of sink back down. And we would call this a chest breath. So let's just do a few of those. You put your hand right on your chest. Put your index and thumb on your collarbones because we're touching the higher part of the chest. Inhale chest, exhale chest. So rising on the inhale and a falling on the exhale. And if we've used Ujjayi breath in the past, you can practice that way. Inhale, exhale chest. Okay, that's the first chamber, chest breath. Then you're going to take usually both hands and you're going to hold the side ribs. So if you don't know what I mean by that, just the sides of your lower ribs. You can do the front of your low ribs, but the sides work a little better. Like the base ribs are like bucket handles. When we do an inhale, we're going to broaden those side ribs. So inhale, broaden the ribs. You should feel them pushing out against those hands. And then exhale, you just kind of cinch those low ribs, kind of like a waistline is being cinched. This is a rib breath. This can be a little challenging because a lot of people don't breathe here. But a little bit of practice breaths, you should be able to do it. Inhale, expand the side ribs. It's those lower side ribs. And exhale, side ribs. And we should be able to do all of these in isolation. So when we're inhaling side ribs, we're not necessarily lifting our chest. When we exhale side ribs, we don't have to move the chest. Just 2 or 3 more like that. Really trying to identify the side ribs. And then the last area is going to be, you're going to cover your navel with your palm. We'll call this the belly breath. And when you inhale, the belly muscles expand. Now it's important that you don't arch your back when you do this. You're not pushing your belly out. But you're just receiving the breath so low into your lungs that the diaphragm moves down and kind of pushes on the organs a little bit, so the abdomen stretches slightly. And then when you exhale, you'll pull the belly muscles in. Inhale, belly breath. Exhale, belly breath, contracting the abdomen in. This is correlated to our lower lobes of our lungs. Now we've got 3 different zones. And again, when we're breathing in our belly, we can do this in isolation and not breathe in our chest or ribs. Now, the 3-chamber breathing is to learn how to breathe in all 3 chambers and get a full body or a full torso breath. And the way we do this, we fill up the belly first, then the ribs, then the chest, and then we exhale the chest, the ribs, and the belly, because when we fill up the chest, it's hard to then breathe into the belly. So we always inhale from the bottom up and exhale from the top down. So let's just try that. You can put your hands on whatever area kind of maybe gave you trouble, just to help ensure that you're going to be able to breathe there. A little bit of extra awareness. Exhale your air. It's one long breath. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, and belly. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, and belly. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, and belly. Couple more. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Last one. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Just kind of relax a little bit wherever you are. Maybe stretch like you're waking up from a nap. Feel the effects of the pranayama. And just identify for yourself which of the three was your strongest breath, it was easiest for you to breathe, and which one was the most challenging. And just keep that in mind. We'll play with the different variations throughout our practice. When you're ready, you're going to come to a tabletop posture, hands and knees. With the eyes closed, you're going to just focus on the area that was the most challenging to breathe in. So if it's the rib breath, then you're going to try to breathe in the ribs mostly. Just take a few breaths here. Shoulders over hands, hips over knees. And start to move your ribs up and down. And you're going to move whichever chamber that you're breathing into is what's going to lead the way. So if you're breathing in your chest, you're trying to move the chest up and down. Now the whole thing moves, right? But what we're doing is we're building awareness and attentiveness to the area that is the most restrictive. If you felt like the belly breath was the most challenging, you're going to lead by lifting the navel and then dropping the low back. So it's all cat-cow, but you're just leading the movement with the area that was the most difficult to breathe with. And if you're not really certain, it doesn't matter. Just breathe what feels good. Putting new awareness, new consciousness on areas that may be dim. One or two more rounds, and then you're going to sit back into child's pose, sinking those hips towards your heels. And then inhale, slide your way forward to tabletop and extend your right foot straight back. And now let's breathe into our whole torso again. So inhaling belly, ribs, chest, and then exhaling. Let's just squeeze our navel. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, and then exhale just the belly. Exhaling the belly really helps firm up the core and stabilize our pose. Let's place that knee down and extend your left leg straight back. And the same idea, inhale, belly, ribs, chest, expands, And then exhale, draw the belly in, toning the core. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, and then exhale, tone the core. One more time. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, exhale, core, and let's place our knee back down. Sit the hips back towards your heels, child's posture, and just breathe naturally a moment. A deep dedication to following our breath when we practice our movements helps control our mind. It takes a lot of time to tame that thing. It loves to think and think and think and think. I mentioned it loves to just keep on thinking, even when it's not necessary. And so these techniques evolved to help quell the mind, even if just temporarily. Let's reinvest in the effort to slow it down. Inhale back to tabletop. And let's stretch out our right leg again. And this time you're going to walk your left fingers forward. And if you want, you can lift the left fingers in the air. This time, again, to make it bouncing a little bit easier, we inhale chest and exhale belly. This is one of the most stabilizing breaths we can do. Inhale chest, exhale belly. This can help build our spine structure so our back and our core stays engaged. Inhale chest, exhale navel. Inhale chest, exhale navel, and place the hand knee back down. Extend your left leg straight back and put the right hand out in front. If you wish, lift it up and work on the core breathing here. Inhale chest, exhale navel. Inhale chest, exhale navel. Inhale chest, exhale navel. Last one. And place the limbs back down. Sit back towards your heels. And let's walk our hands over to your right. So we've opened up the left side body. This will really help make the rib breath, at least on the left side, a lot easier. As you inhale, open that left side, even lift the left edge of the body up just a little bit, helping the breath flow into that side rib area. One can even think that these movements, these asanas, these poses, their purpose is to help make the breathing more palpable, more dynamic. We're stretching the musculature so that the breathing can happen more naturally. Let's walk our hands over to our left now, exposing the right side body, and really emphasize with awareness each breath into the right side ribs. Gently lifting up that right edge of the body a little bit with each inhale. Growing our consciousness, stretching our awareness into our body. Let's come back to center, pull ourselves back to tabletop, and then downward facing dog pose. We're going to take 5 deep breaths here. Press down through your arms and hands. Press down through your hips and feet. And breathe the chest, inhale. Exhale, navel. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. Keep going. Feel that you're making the spine longer, firmer, and steadier. Good, let's dip our knees and then our pelvis into the floor, cobra posture. You can bend your elbows by pulling them straight back. By pulling the elbow straight back, notice how it opens across the chest, and receive a chest breath. Inhale, chest. And then exhale, navel to protect your low back. 2 more like this. Inhale, chest. Pulling those collarbones apart. Exhale, navel. Protect the low back. Last one, inhale, chest. And then lower down towards your mat. Let's walk our hands out on a V-shaped diagonal. So you can do that at the wall or on the mat, that's fine too. Walk your hands out on a V-shaped diagonal, propping your fingertips up like a tent. So your arms are lifted off the ground. We want to keep the underarm active. And you're going to lift your crown into the ceiling. You're going to lift the backs of your legs. Definitely not into the ceiling, but you're going to try to lift them off the ground at least. Feel how this has engaged your back body. And practice breathing here. Breathing in the chest, breathing in the side ribs. Focus on those 2 areas. Breathing in the chest and inhaling in the side ribs. 2 more like that. Staying lifted, staying floating, still breathing. Good. Place those hands under your shoulders and let's press back. Downward facing dog. And nice and slowly, let's walk our feet to the front of the sticky. If you have blocks, use them or push on a coffee table if you can't push on the floor easily. We're going to push down on that surface and stretch your chin forward. As you stretch your chin forward, push down through the soles of your feet, right into the arch, so it engages the back of your legs. A little bit of knee bend goes a long way. And now breathe into your chest to help elongate the spine. And draw the core in, but don't round your back. That's it. Breathe into the chest, inhale. Exhale at the navel. And this drawing in the navel should give us the confidence to stretch our arms out like wings. There should be no pressure on our spine to make the arms go out like wings. 2 more breaths here, holding it. Inhaling chest. Exhaling navel. Holding the pose, not the breath, by the way. Inhale chest. Exhale navel. Good. Inhale, swoop your arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, open the arms up and part them as you slowly bring your arms down wide. And when you're at the height of your shoulder, send your thumbs back. Feel those shoulder blades moving back on the body. What are we naturally opening here of our 3 chambers? We're opening the chest breath. So let's emphasize it. Inhale, chest. And now use your breath to deepen the stretch. So the body helps the breathing, but the breathing also helps the body. So as you inhale in your chest, stretch more fully. Allow the inner space that you're making to open the body. And then bring your hands back down. Let's try that one more time. You're going to inhale, take your arms up overhead. And then exhale, keeping your arms that wide for too long. You go a little lower, you go like a little bit of an A shape is fine. And then take the thumbs back so you feel the shoulder blades. Fill in the inner body with breathing. Keep that fullness as you exhale and stretch further away. One more time. Stretch with that inner fullness. Good. Release those hands down. Bow into your mat. Place your hands on the mat. And let's step back to plank posture. Everyone's favorite. If this is still too early for you, you can do kneel in plank posture. You walk those knees back. Plank posture, we usually just like to not breathe at all because it's stressful and difficult. But here again, we practice today. Breathing through all the chambers. And because our core is engaged, it might be hard to do a belly breath. And so just notice how the breath is restricted in your plank. Good. Exhale, drop your pelvis into the mat, pull your elbows straight back. So we're in cobra posture. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, squeeze the navel. 2 more like that. And then lower yourself down. Walk the hands out in a V shape. And this time, keep our crown lifting. You're going to walk the left hand over to the right hand, so they're right next to each other. Feel how the left side's more open. And now roll onto your right ribs, so you've opened up those left ribs even more. And breathe here. You'll notice how your hips are stacked. You can even pull your left foot back slightly to open up the left belly and breathe along that left side. Good. Place that foot back down. Let's come back to the V-shaped arms. Take a breath here. And then exhale, walk your right hand all the way over to the left. Roll onto your left side slightly so that right hip lifts, and breathe into the right edge, the right chest, the right ribs, and even the right belly muscle by pulling that right foot back slightly. Good, let's come back to center, V-shaped arms. Inhale, big wide arm cobra. Lift your legs as well. Control your breath. Wonderful. Let's place the forearms underneath us, pushing the palms down. Push the knees down and lift up into a baby forearm plank, or tuck your toes and lift your knees, legs straight, into full forearm plank. And notice how the effort of keeping a stable core restricts the breathing. Noticing the breath. It is a timeless knowledge, a timeless wisdom of yogis, meaning since yogis were around, they understood that breath was important, as a way to control the mind, a way to manage the mind. Good. Let's place our knees back down and push back to downward facing dog pose. Let's step our left foot forward and inhale, come on up, warrior one posture. Today, let's really emphasize planting our right foot firmly in the mat and then turning our hips and body away from that foot and then pushing out through our front knee. So we're getting a long stretch along the front of the right leg. Inhale, arms to the sky, warrior one posture. The closer you bring your hands together, the more of a side rib stretch you can get, making it easier to breathe into it. Good. Place the hands down on the mat. Turn the back heel up and then lift your left arm, twisted lunge. Level 2, you're going to step back into side plank. Level 1, you'll just go right to downward dog. In side plank or down dog, just notice again where the restriction is. It should be easier to breathe on the left side, the high side, than the side that's down, the contracting side. Good, hands on the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's push our right foot forward, turn the back foot down, and let's lift up warrior one. Again, emphasizing the back foot, and then turn the body away from that back foot to help stretch that inner back leg. Push out through the front knee. Okay, let's bring the arms up and try to keep those hands as close together as possible. Full body, full torso breath. Inhaling, belly, ribs, and chest. And then exhaling, chest, ribs, and belly. Be careful here. If this feels like you're destabilizing yourself, you may want more core engagement. So you would just inhale chest and just exhale belly. Good. Place the left hand down. Let's twist our lunge. Okay. You can do side plank or just go right to down dog, or you can do baby side plank where you drop the left knee to the floor. But we're going to stabilize our left side and try to breathe and open our right side. Good. Hands on the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now we're going to walk our hands back. So at the back of our mat. Push down through our hands and stretch your chin forward. Good. Yep. Bill, you put your hands on that coffee table ledge. You don't have to bend over as much. And you're putting energy down through the arches of your feet. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. Feel how this is actually supporting the extending of your spine. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. If you feel enough support, you can take your arms away into wings. So you're stabilizing the core. There should be no more increased impingement in the spine. The spine should feel exactly the same. And then inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. Let's turn the right foot out about 60 degrees. So a little more than usual, 45 but not quite 90. And you're going to take a big old step forward with the left hand. Sorry, the left foot. I want to open up that front hip, the front of the back hip, the front of the right hip by turning our hips and turning our body. Good, really planting that back foot down. Even that outer edge, friends, get the outer edge of that back foot down too. Good, push out through that front knee. And then you see, ooh, can I do a little longer stance? But does my back foot stay down when I do that longer stance? Good, now once we're in that your longest stance, you're gonna lift up and you're gonna even cross your hand a little bit this time. Breathing into those side ribs. 2 breaths here. Really nice warrior one. Feel that back edge of my foot coming up. Keep it down, friends. Good, you can straighten that front leg, and this is too long of a stance. I don't know how to get out of it. I'm just kidding. Push off that back foot. But then let's walk back to the back edge again. You're gonna turn the left foot out about 60 degrees, a little more than usual. You're gonna walk the foot forward, the right foot. So I'm gonna mirror to you. Was that a cat move, Robin? Keep that back foot down. And then the key is once that back foot's down, turning the hips and torso to create a stretch along that inner leg. And so it widens the stride there and creates the stability while we do it. Push out through our front knee. Okay, once you've got a stable foundation, we're going to lift our arms and maybe cross the palms slightly, cross the wrists, and breathe into those side ribs. Keep the low belly muscles toned here to support that long distance stride. Much deeper warrior one than we usually practice. Exploring how the breath can deepen our understanding of our pose and help us be mindful and present. Okay, straighten the leg, bend the back knee to step out of the pose. We'll come to the front of our mat now. Bring the legs as close as they are comfortable together. I'm going to stretch your left hand up. Start by looking up at those fingers. As you look up at those fingers, release your right hand down. So we get a nice stretch, a nice release on the right side of our neck. As you're reaching downward with the right, keep lifting the left into the whole left side. Get some space, get some room to breathe. Good, let's just take one big windmill with that left hand. And then reach it back up as we come up to center. And let's bring the left hand down and bring the right hand up. Staring up at your right palm. Reach down through your left fingers. Getting a stretch on the left neck. As you're reaching down, it will be natural to lift right up. Breathing into the space you've made. And then making a circular motion as we come back up to standing. Bring the hands down by your sides. Let's step the feet nice and wide now. And from here, turn the heels inward. Place the hands on the knees and bend the knees deeply. Horse stance or goddess pose. Open your throat today. And breathe. Pushing down and out through our thigh bones and into the arch of our foot. Inhale, extend your legs straight. Let's lift those arms back up. We'll add an arm gesture into it. Pull those arms down, cactus arms. Push the knees apart. And we'll try to keep the spine vertical this time. Looks good. We're drawing shoulder blades down our back. And inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. Inhale, chest. And then exhale, navel. Pull those shoulder blades and elbows down back even further. So we start to really open up our spine. And then inhale, reach up. Straighten those limbs. We're going to do one more of those. So it feels like a standing back bend slightly. Using the breath to make our spine remain safe. So goddess pose, pulling those elbows down and back, shoulder blades down and back, and pushing the knees out. So open the chest, look up. You feel support along your spine. The key is to inhale chest, and then exhale navel at the muscle, not at the bone. You draw the muscle in without rounding your back. Two more. On the exhale, pull those elbows down and back. Inhale, reach up and step back to the front of your yoga mat. And then let's reach the hands down the shins, keeping the chin extending out. Good work, everyone. Again, placing the hands on a prop or on the floor, we're going to be standing split. So centering your right foot. Inhale, draw your left leg straight up. And you're going to try to reach out to the tip of your left toe. And there's two ways to practice standing splits. You do whatever feels good to your spine today. You can kind of keep the flat back position and lift from the back of the leg. Or you can start to tuck your forehead. You just have to make sure you keep squeezing your navel when you do this version as you lift the back of the leg. Breathing in your side ribs. Using the exhale to tone your core, tone the navel. From here, gently bend your back knee. Bend your front knee, that's your right one. And step your left foot all the way back into that original warrior one stance. Nice and deep, long stance, and rise up. Good, that back foot should be really planted. The stride should be much longer than usual. We've turned our hips, turned our torso, and now cactus arms like we did in goddess pose. Pulling the elbows and shoulder blades down our back. Open the throat. The spine should feel supported here, friends. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel to support your spine. One more. One more. Good. Let's place our hands down on the mat and step back to child's pose. Let's rest ourselves, relax our spine to get ready for next side. And here's a moment to check in. Did we overwork? That's okay, just try to relax the muscle. Or did our strong breathing, embodied breathing, support our asana practice, keeping us present, keeping the body strong? So the inhale will always make space where it goes, and the exhale will always sort of reduce space. So when we exhale at our navel, it tones the core. Okay, let's press back downward facing dog, and you're going to slowly walk your feet back forward. We're going to try standing splits on our next side. So we start with the flat back pose, making sure our spine is engaged, breathing chest, exhaling navel. You place that left foot in the center, so you have a tripod with your hands and foot. And lift up your right leg straight to the sky. You can do flat back with in your standing splits, or maybe just do the opposite of what you did last time. You pull the navel in and round your body. So exhale, take the air out of your chest. So you very much have to breathe in your side ribs when you're rounding. And if you're in the flat back version, you're inhaling in your chest. So your breath supports the pose. Exhale, always at the navel to stabilize the core. Good, bend your standing knee and drop the back foot way back. So we're in deep warrior one stance with that foot planted. Rise up. Good. Pushing out for that front knee, really turning the body today, opening that hip flexor. Cactus arms, sort of creating a little bit of back bend here. Open the throat, open the chest. Very good. Inhale, chest, make some space. Exhale, navel, protect your low back. Inhale, chest, making space. Exhale, navel. Pulling down even deeper. Beautiful pose. And let's place the hands on the mat and step back to kneeling pose. Sit the hips back, child's pose. So let's come back up to tabletop, and if you don't mind, let's bring our knees, our shins rather, to touch. We've got a very narrow stance. With a very narrow stance, push your hands down so you feel your ribs lift. Your body kind of felt like a parachute. Back ribs are nice and full. Let's just take a couple ribs breath here. I'm not really breathing in our chest. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze your inner knee together. Squeeze your ankle bones together. Squeeze your shins together. A lot of inner thigh, inner leg, inner core strength here. Just squeezing, breathing in the back ribs. Okay, now extend one leg back and then the other. So we're in plank pose, and we're still trying to squeeze our legs together in plank. Bring inner leg, inner channel strength here in the core. Squeezing the legs together. Breathing in the back ribs. 5 deep breaths, friends. Use the breath to embolden your pose. Use the breath to keep your attention on your practice. Good. Drop the knees and then drop the pelvis. Cobra pose. Pull those elbows straight back to open the chest. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. And then lower it down. Extend your right arm straight out like a T shape, laying the palm flat. Now push with your left hand so you're rolling onto that right shoulder, opening the front of the right shoulder here, front of the right chest. Similar to the pose we did earlier today, with a different arm alignment. Breathe. And let's roll back to center. Extend that left arm out straight. Lay the palm flat. Place the hand under the shoulder. And then push and roll the shoulders open. Breathe. Feeling the release of that left shoulder in the twist here. Let's roll back to center. Placing our hands underneath the shoulders. You can do a push-up or just go back to down dog before. And let's walk our hands back to a forward bend. Inhaling, rising up to standing. Beautiful. Let's step our left foot in front. We're going to do pyramid pose now. So let's keep our legs straight this time. And again, we can do a little longer stance since we've already kind of warmed up our body with the warrior one, a little bit longer distance than usual, but still actively turning the hips, turning the torso, while keeping the back foot planted. This is really essential to benefiting from this extended distance. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel, and we're going to come to a flat back variation to start. So inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. 2 more like that. So here we should be upright. Gaze is almost outward, or at least thinking that way. Good, and this could be plenty. This could be plenty of hamstring. If you want a little bit deeper, now you're going to transition your hands to your front shin, or 2 blocks, or a little ledge in front of you. And then slide those hands down or out any further. Tuck your chin. Push the breath out of the chest. So collapse the chest. And now instead, you'll inhale into your side ribs, yet still exhale navel. Those are still very safe. Inhale, side ribs. Exhale, navel. And obviously, if you're in flat back, you can inhale chest. Good to safely come up on your exhale. On your exhale, pull your navel in, but push your tailbone down through your feet to rise up And then let's step out of our posture. Really nice work, friends. We're going to put the right foot in front. Take an extra long pyramid stance today. This is Parsvottanasana. That back foot will be turned out a little more than usual. And then with the leg straight, rotate your pelvis all the way forward if possible. Squaring the body. Feeling a little bit of probably stretch in that front left hip. I'll do the flat back variation first. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. This will keep the spine nice and long. Back muscles very engaged the whole time. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. And if you're looking for more challenge, put those arms out or out. Still in flat back. Always concentrating the exhale on the navel without rounding the spine. And if you want the bowed forward version, you'll drop the head, collapse the air out of the chest, and then inhale side ribs. Exhale, navel. Inhale side ribs. Exhale, navel. Just seeing where that back and forth mindfulness of breath takes the pose. To safely come up, you're going to, on the exhale, push the tailbone down through the feet to wind up. And let's step out of our posture. We're going to take a nice long stance, even longer than the last one, because we're going to allow our hips to turn open. Open. Warrior two pose. So the right foot is in the back, left foot's in the front. Warrior two. Make sure the outer edge of your back foot is down. Inhale, chest, very much so here. Exhale, belly button. Building a strong column of energy through our spine. Three more. Each breath, as you inhale your chest, you can stretch out through your fingertips even more. Good, straighten your front leg, triangle posture. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. Using that building of internal strength and core structure, and then spreading out through your limbs. Good, inhale, come back up. Let's take a big step back to the front of the mat. Let's get ready for a moment for the second side. And then step your left foot further back than we've worked today, further back than usual. Open the hips slightly and bend the front knee, warrior two. Still keeping that outer edge of the back foot down. And stretch out through your arms. Concentrate your awareness. Inhale, try to always get more detail. That there's nuance. Always having this open mind. That I could open the upper chamber of my lungs. Could open the muscles correlated to the upper chamber of my lungs. With new awareness, new detail. Stretching out through the fingertips, across the chest and shoulder blades. Good, straighten the front leg, and let's tip on over into triangle pose for today. Same thing, inhale chest. Exhale navel, and this strong spine structure gives us the ability to extend energy out through our limbs. See, the breath, the oxygen is going into the different areas of the lung, sure, but all that movement in our musculature helps move what we call prana in yoga. Prana is more than just the oxygen or the respiratory benefit of breathing. Prana helps circulate all sorts of vitality in our system, even unquantifiable vitality. Push down through your tailbone, inhale, come up. And then let's step out of our posture. Squeeze the legs together. If that's difficult for you, you can put maybe a block between your inner knees so you can squeeze the block. Squeeze the inner legs and then actually press your palms against your outer thighs and squeeze your arms against your body. Very much taking the outer channels in. Squeeze so much you kind of feel like you're squeezing your butt a little bit. Clenching your butt and kind of bringing your tailbone into your body. And as you do this, inhale your chest. Keep reaching down through those fingers. So you're kind of creating like a pressure cooker, one might think. And as you lift your chest, gently let your chin kind of drop slightly. It can't drop too much because your chest is so big and so filled with air. This, you're building a lot of internal energy. Squeeze those legs, squeeze those arms. Chin is softly falling down. But the power of the inhale lifts the chest back up. Good, now bend your knees nice and deep. Keep squeezing the legs together. Come into chair pose. Squeezing the fingertips, squeezing the inner legs, reaching up. Beautiful looking posture, everyone. Really engaged. Really focused, really present. The mind is quelled. Concentrating on your breath to invigorate the body. Let's come right back into that strong mountain pose today. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the arms, even the glutes. You're squeezing the butt to insulate the tailbone. When you do it right, you'll actually feel your belly muscles kind of support in the low belly as well. Build the chest with the inhalation, keeping the chin tucked. And then bend the knees. Keep squeezing as you bend. Chair posture. Pushing energy down through the feet. Now one more round in us. Inhale up. This should be a fair, probably the most rigorous part of class. Squeeze those legs, friends. Squeeze the arms. Use your breath to keep you focused. These static poses, they should be filled with energy, filled with consciousness. Squeeze the glutes. 2 more deep breaths. Chest should be rising. Good, exhale, squeeze the legs as you bend them into chair pose. Sending those glutes down, tailbone down. Warrior 3, you're gonna go out like wings, a little bit easier, or hands still stay forward, and you're gonna pull the right leg straight back and reach out. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. Squeezing the legs, squeezing the arms like you're holding a balloon between your hands, but not wanting to pop it. Inhale, chest. Exhale, navel. Good, come back to chair pose, you can do it. Keep squeezing the glutes, squeezing the legs. We're gonna stay with it, this is it, keep breathing. If you don't breathe, that's how you pass out. Choose your arm position, pull your left leg back. Keep squeezing the legs, as though they were hugging each other, as though they were still next to each other. Keep squeezing the arms, even if they're out like airplane wings. And breathe. Inhaling chest. Exhaling navel. Back to chair pose, you're almost done. Finish the rotation. Inhale back up to mountain pose. Lift the chest as high as you can. And then exhale, lift your chin, exhale through your mouth. Relax your chest. Soften your chest. Just breathe. Feel your body. feel your heart rate, body temperature, held in the light of consciousness, your observation of this moment. Good job. Have a quick sip of water, and then we're going to transition our class. Even as you take your short little break, feel more embodied, watching your movement, watching your steps. Mind is being cleared of its thoughts, experiencing our embodiment. Back to your mat. I'm just going to slowly come down to your knees, let the hands touch the ground. Each leg back one at a time. Very gently push the left knee forward, more in the middle, not too wide, and then pull the left foot across. And now walk your right knee back and across. So we have a very narrow pigeon pose. You're feeling your way into a much more narrow pigeon pose. Still not very much a hip opener. Not as wide as you normally do in practice. This is a little more traditional. When you feel that stretch in the front, sort of the back of the front hip. You have options. You can keep your hands down in front and open the chest. And exhale navel. That's version 1 of how you practice it. Feels good on my body today. Or you'll come down to your forearms and collapse the chest. And here you'll breathe into your ribs. Exhale navel stance. Just choose the version that feels good on your body. Where's the breath want to flow? Yoga, they say, is the union of the mind, the body, and translated as the breath. So very much so your breathing becomes the posture. Depending on how you shape your body will be how you shape your breath. Stop drawing the line that divides them. You start experiencing them as one. Inhale, come out of your pose. And settle on an exhale into tabletop. And you're going to stretch your right knee forward and take that foot across. And then you'll walk the left knee back and across. So we're getting a much more narrow pose today as we engage and capture our right hip in the shape. And then again, choosing the version. Is it a chest breath and our body's upright? Or is it a rib breath and our body's kind of bowing forward? The exhales always go to the navel. This chest breath, rib breath, this is actually even affect the nervous system. In fact, I was seeking more calmness, more mellowness. We would breathe lower in the ribs. More alertness, more activeness, we might breathe in the chest. We can think about body language. How people carry themselves, people who are high energy, they chest breathe too often, or even anxious. People who are often maybe too sluggish. Maybe too often their chest is collapsed, they're breathing in their belly. As a yogi, we learn to breathe in all of it. So we know how to honor What's this phase supposed to be like? What's this experience of life? How does your yoga bring balance? Let's roll onto our side now and swing that back leg around. Please sit up, or if you're not going to sit up, you should be able to very easily have your arms in the sky with your spine vertical. No back pain. Otherwise, please do in fact sit up. Cross our, you'll cross your, doesn't really matter, we do both, but left shin in front, ankles and knees are in alignment. Sukhasana, easy sitting pose. Inhale, stretch the arms up. And then exhale, pulling at the navel, collapsing the chest as you drape forward. Pushing the air out of the chest. Inhaling into your side ribs. Inhaling, rolling back up. Let's change the cross of our legs. We're going to inhale, going to lift our chest, filling in the whole torso. And then push the air out of the chest as you bow forward, drawing the navel in. And then on the inhales, you'll breathe into the ribs. Inhale, rolling back up. Kind of stay where you are. You're just going to pull the left leg, which is the inner leg, more across, so the knee's in front. And you're going to lift the right knee up and pull that foot in. So that foot can be on near the shin part of the knee or near the thigh part of the knee, depending on your mobility. Give yourself a nice hug. Hug that right thigh to your body to your thigh. Who knows where the breath can go here? A little rib breath, really. And still the exhales in the navel. Now to take the pose deeper, you're going to inhale, and you are in fact going to breathe into your chest, but it's going to be the right side of your chest. Always exhale navel here to protect your low back as you twist. And so in asana, with pranayama, they merge into one thing. It's hard to really do that without the focus of your mind, the attentiveness to your sensations. Inhale, come back to center, and let's try to change our legs. Fingers crossed. Won't discombobulate us. You're going to pull the right leg across, pull the left leg over, give ourselves a left hug, left thigh. We want to try to get our sit bones level and the left foot flat. Those are kind of the basics for a stable foundation. And if you've got that, you can start to inhale, opening your left chest to twist deeper. Inhale into that chest. And exhale, pulling in at the navel. Let's come back to center. Extend the legs out nice and wide, not too wide, whatever feels good to your body. Keep those heels nice and grounded and heavy. And let's just drape forward, keeping the toes skyward. And slowly roll back up. Let's bring our knees up to our body and slowly roll our spine down into the mat. Keep the knees bent. We'll place our feet flat on the floor. Let's give ourselves a couple bridge poses. So I think today maybe it would be nice to maybe press the palms down flat next to our hips. And really actively push with our palms as we inhale and kind of scoop and lift our pelvis up. Make sure you're pushing those feet straight down. And those knees aren't separating. So Jim, maybe take your feet a little wider. Let's exhale, come back down again. This time, even think that you're squeezing the knees a little bit together as you lift your hips. So they're not moving together. They should be about hips distance apart. But the squeezing together just keeps them from falling apart, falling open. Good, much better, more engagement here. Now we lift the pelvis. Keep those inner thighs engaged. Keep the palms pressing down and breathe. Exhale, lower down. We'll do one more like that. So again, feet down, inner thighs squeezing slightly, palms pressing down. Inhale to lift up. And when you're ready, you'll exhale to lower down. Let's place the right ankle on top of the left knee. And then pull the left thigh towards the body, with or without the hands. I would recommend doing whichever one your tendency is not. Whichever one you're not used to. So yeah, so that left foot will come off the ground. Yep. You're just gonna bring that thigh straight towards the body. This is some of that wider hip opener that we skipped today in our pigeon. And place that left foot back on the mat and stack the knees. So you're just going to take that shin all the way across. Good. And now you can kind of lift your hips up and just shimmy them an inch or two to the right. And then drop your knees all the way to your left. John, let's switch your legs. There you go. If you want, you can even put your hand on the top of your right hip, or well, top meaning to the ceiling, through the side of your right hip. Actually, maybe it's even better to do this with the left hand, so that you're going to slide your hand down the outer right thigh to help deepen the twist and kind of release that outer leg a little more. And as you do that, you can stretch that right arm. Yeah, I'm convinced. You definitely want to do this that the leg sliding with the left hand. You can slide that right hand out. Let's come back to center and place the left ankle on top of the right knee. Do our upside down pigeon today, or thread the needle. Not worrying about the breath too much right now, just sort of trusting that it's the breath you need to stay present, that it's integrated into your pose at this stage of the class. Place the right foot back on the floor and stack the left knee on top of the right. And shimmy those hips a little to your left and then drop the knees to the right. Putting the right hand on top, sliding it down the outer leg to the knee as you open up your left shoulder. And then inhale, coming back up to center. And kind of relax under your legs. When you're ready, you'll stretch your legs and your arms out. Try to feel the bones heavy on the earth. Try to let your muscles be soft around the bones. Allow the breath to just flow with ease. Stretch your body. Press up to a comfortable seat. Take a deep breath. Without all the details and all the specifics of today, just take one more breath and watch it. Namaste. Thanks for practicing.